Congratulations, boys. There's not much of that in this country yet. The New York Times, being a paper of record, has made, I think, they've been pretty courageous in terms of just laying out what is going on. Yeah, reading the New York Times for the past year has been like one funeral dirge, or, list one funeral after another. This over here is the most paranoid, most insecure country, that I've ever lived in. It's the worst this country has been since I've ever seen it. And I've been covering politics for a long time, and sports.
So that's how you'd characterize the popular debate at the moment, that it's full of paranoia?
Yeah, but now on the other side, we don't have what appears to be just a bunch of half-bright Jesus freaks. But soon, if you look at it just a little bit with a different prism, this could be a military takeover. It could be called that. If you notice all the power being centralized in the White House in Washington, with these super agencies taking over, the FBI, CIA, these super cabinet positions, this little bastard of a president, the goofy child president, I used to call him that, but goofy is way too friendly for a president who's been nothing but presiding over the looting of the Treasury and the looting of people's pension funds. He's done a lot of damage, and he's trying to. His next step, I guarantee you, is to overrule the Freedom of Information Act that is key to the survival of journalism in this country.
Do you feel like there's a restriction of media freedom, of the freedom to speak and the freedom to marshal opposition arguments at the moment? Is there a restricted space for media freedom?
Well, I think what happened, I wouldn't say it's a restricted space, but it's a dark and dangerous gray area to venture into. Several journalists have lost their jobs. Columnists with Bill Maher on ABC. They get these tides of public protest when a journalist suggests what I'm doing now. And they can try to fire me. Maybe they can. But some people were made an example of early on. And then they have this argument, if you want to criticize like that, you're making fun of the victims or people who died in the disastrous crashes. I'm still not sure who did that. And I think there's a lot more to it than we have been allowed to know over here. The media is not doesn't reflect world opinion or even a larger, more intelligent opinion over here. It's just this drumbeat of celebrity worship and child funerals and hooded prisoners being led around Guantanamo. No, I'm very disturbed about the civil rights implications of this, and everybody should be.
So just on journalists who may have lost their jobs, are you saying that people who came out and were fearless in their critique of the government or the government's planning, government's policy, that those people were actually lost their jobs as journalists?
Well, I can think of two come to mind, and they were right in the beginning. I haven't heard of many since, but I think Bill Maher, there was some kind of high rave after 9/11 that all these people cowards, these dirty little bastards who snuck up on us and pulled off what amounts to a perfect crime. Really, no witnesses, very little cost. Talk about cost-effective. That was a hell of a strike. But I'm not sure I'd call them cowards, but that's what Bill Maher said on TV. And he said, let's see, the effect that he considered our missile attacks, our bombing attacks on unseen victims, wedding parties, etc., that was cowardly. Wacko, boy, a huge tidal wave of condemnation came down on him. And that's right, ABC, yeah.
That at the moment people don't want to hear that sort of criticism. They want people to rally around the flag and support the military.
I think that's right. And I think that the reason for that is that, they don't want to hear it because, boy, there's going to be a lot of agonizing reappraisal, as they say, what reality is in this country and the world right now. If popular opinion in this country has to be swung over to the White House is wrong, these people are corporate thieves, they've turned the American dream into a chamber of looting. Yeah, it's going to take a lot of adjustment mentally.
At the moment, even in Australia, the media is preparing for